This is Property Developers Playbook, and I'm Jonathan Stobbs.
And I'm Kieron Shepherd.
This is the podcast where we talk about the business of property developments. So if you're just getting started or looking to scale into bigger projects, this podcast is for you.
Yeah, and if you're new to the podcast, welcome. If you're joining us again, welcome back. Good to see you.
Yeah, glad to have you again.
Glad to have you again.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you like what you hear or see, please like, follow, share. Let's get into it.
Yeah. So today's episode is something that we've been doing a little bit more recently. We're talking about colour choices, interior design, and one of the biggest mistakes developers make. But before we get into that, we just want to give you a quick update on what we've been doing. You may have seen from some. Actually, we haven't posted on the socials that we completed, did we?
No, we haven't yet.
We kind of held it back a little bit. But anyway, we completed on the purchase of a fairly large piece of real estate in Cornwall. We're just finishing the planning drawings and everything, and we'll be submitting planning in the next couple of weeks.
Exciting project.
Very exciting.
Very exciting. So, we'll probably do at least one podcast about it.
Yeah.
There's going to be lots involved.
Yeah.
Big conversion project.
Yeah, we'll do similar like we did last week with regards to this week, with regards to the Saltash updates. We'll be doing podcasts all about that, how we found it, and taking it through the planning process and everything else. But this is a office building, listed parts that we're putting in planning for 36 apartments.
Yeah, exciting stuff.
Yeah, big development, so really excited about that. Faith is with us for Big Question of the Week.
Oh, we don't have one?
We don't have one. Oh, we're doing an update. That's it.
Oh, no. Cheers, Faith. So it's just a bit of an update today instead of, what were we going to do? Oh, no, it doesn't matter now because we're not doing it. Right.
No, the question was how many developers, what percentage of developers use interior designers in their developments compared to who don't?
Oh, yeah. Faith, if you quickly try and find an answer to that and we'll carry on and then you can...
I know it.
Oh, okay.
You know the answer already. So you have got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, say it again.
Just make us look like tossers.
What percentage, what percentage of developers use interior designers on their projects?
Yes.
What are you going for? Did you go first?
Well, I can't remember, but I'm going probably fairly low because I'm looking at the smaller developers all the way to the nationals. Nationals will probably have people that are in-house, specifically for interior designing, space planning, all that sort of thing. Yeah. So I'm probably going to go very low, actually. 10%.
Are we including like dressing as well? You know, they do... because that's something else we'll talk about. Is it called dressing? It's called staging. So we're including staging. What did you say, 10%?
Yeah, I said 10%.
I'm going to go 12%.
Oh, wow. That much higher.
Well, I thought it was 10, but I'm going to go 12.
Okay.
I think it's a bit more.
Okay.
Faith, over to you.
Put us out of our misery. Have an answer at least, please.
It's an estimated 80%.
80%? Well, clearly we're doing something.
Maybe that's what we're doing wrong.
Yeah.
We think we're the interior designers. Okay, well...
Well, you've got a design background, so maybe that's the reason why.
Yeah, which, isn't all it's cracked up to be, I think. Okay, well, that's interesting. If it's 80%,
so that's pretty much this podcast wrapped up.
Yeah,
everyone's
right.
already doing it.
See you later. Design. We talked about architects before and about structural engineers, all the consultants you need. We haven't really done, much about interior designers because we don't typically use interior designers. Like John said, I've got a bit of an interior, design background, landscape architectural background. But I think it's also, a lot of developers tend to do it themselves, and I guess that's what we need to look at really, is why they do it themselves. Yeah.
Because interior design is very subjective. It comes down to, I suppose this is the biggest thing, is developers are busy finding sites, appraising sites, putting everything together, and interior designers are keeping up to date with the local trends and all that sort of thing. So,
sorry, mate, I've got beer there in my mouth. Get it out. Exactly that. I think it's very subjective. And also it's one of those where I think, certainly for me, is... In terms of interior design, you're releasing quite a bit of control. Yeah. Because that's the bit that will really wow or
you're kind of putting a lot of faith in other people then.
Yeah.
That's why I'm surprised it's so high.
Yeah.
80%. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder if, and we're going to get an interior designer to come on the podcast. I'm thinking of Tanith.
Yes.
To actually get her opinion as well, which I think would be quite good.
So I always look at designers a bit like artists in a way. They're the same. That I bet they won't compare themselves to artists. This is what I view them as. In that they have their own style, they have their own look, and you sort of get these jack of all trade designers that are very good and work for the client, and they'll take the client's ideas and ambition and what their end goal is, and they'll create that. But I find if you look at interior designers or designers as a whole, really they've got their own style, and I think you can almost pair them up with the type of project you're looking.
Yeah.
Like a high-end retail designer, somebody like a friend of mine, works for big companies like Apple and Sony and things like that. That look and that he's not going to go and design
a one bed or something.
One bed flat, for residential. It's just not his bag. He's all about those sort of material palette. So it's about finding that right person. And for me, or us, I think it is about finding someone who can understand what we like, tell us when we're going wrong. I mean, again, we lean on the suppliers really for what's in and out, what's coming up, is it a fad or is it something that is it timeless, those sort of things. So I think it is an important role, because I think if you've got no knowledge or you've got no understanding, there are people, I've seen developers,
people like that don't have any clue as to
no, and I don't want to stereotype, but I think if you took most builders now and left them to it, I think most builders would just go grey. They'd have grey walls, grey floors, grey.
What's easy?
Yeah.
But the biggest thing about this interior design thing is not to put your own personal taste on it.
Yeah.
It's very much, although you have your opinion on what you like and what you think the buyers are going to be, it comes down to the target market of the property that you're developing and what's going to make it sell as quick as possible. Yeah.
Exactly that. Yeah.
So we've obviously had some discussions about kitchen choices. We've kind of got loads of different books, and this is ultimately what ends up, people looking at loads of different books and choices of products.
Yeah.
Trying to find something that works, but actually having an interior designer in your team, they take care of all of that, so you don't need to worry about that. And they'll come to you with a mood board, and this is what you do for your clients on the retail side of things.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so the residential market, certainly our market it's probably more of the higher end. And we get them to come to us with their mood board, tell us what they're looking for, because generally those decisions they've made, or they've worked with an interior designer, or we recommend an interior designer, same as a landscape architect or a landscape designer, garden designer, that sort of thing. So the furnishing, again, we're a contractor, main contractor, builder. We're not there to make those decisions. We can help and advise on the sort of quality of the products and how they're installed, and all the things that need a guarantee or warranty, those side of things. And some people have some really interesting ideas, and you could try and work with them if you can, but you've got to hone them in a little bit. But it's good. Some of our clients are fantastic, where they'll put a big mood board, samples, and talk through, and they want to know what's good and what's not. But typically, we'll lean on their design ideas. We'll give our input if asked, but we'll always say that's just a personal opinion. There's no right or wrong to this. In their personal homes, it's their taste completely. I
think when for you as a main contractor, when they come with all their different specifications, it's what's the lead time.
That's a big thing.
That's always a big thing.
Yeah, big thing. Within the program, you want to be looking at milestones, and that's every project. Even us as developers, we looked at some internal doors the other day, didn't we? We like a certain door for the project. We knew it was in budget. We looked, I said, right, okay, what would the ETA on that? When could we get them? 18 weeks. And I was like,
just doesn't work for our
that's
project.
That's not going to work. So I said, well, that's a shame, because we really like those doors. Put it out to our suppliers. They managed to find a different supplier that can do the same door within a couple of weeks. So, if you know what you want for that certain look, and you've got to work around that. And from a build point of view, timing is the most important thing. It's not so much as a developer, you're thinking about cost and time and quality and finish and all those sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? It's the quality, but the quality assurance, like that time scale, making sure that it's good. Certainly if you're renting these, keeping them to rent, you want to make sure it's a robust material, it's tried and tested. There's lots of new things to the market, but doesn't necessarily mean they're good. And So yeah, just all those different things come into play.
I think when it comes to, again, with interior design and the target market, it's also, are they first-time buyers? Is it a luxury home that's got a lot of bespoke products, certainly like the showers and things you've been doing recently in some really high-end properties, or is it a rental? And if it's a rental, you're going to keep, in theory, you'd keep very much the same colour, the same palettes, so that if there's any kind of repairs, you know exactly what it's going to be, and it's easy to get a hold of. There's no kind of major lead times.
Absolutely.
It just makes it very, very simple as a business process to streamline.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, like you look at two ends of the spectrum, in a higher end house, designed for the client who's going to live there, they might be looking for a long pile carpet, they've sourced this certain wool carpet, and it's lovely, it's expensive, which is great. They'll know how they want to use that space, shoes off, where you slip at this sort of thing, putting certain rugs in certain places. And then on your rental, your lower end rental might be, it's all about, the utility of the product. Can it be replaced, like you said, quickly? Yeah. But also, this is a great example, actually. If you look at tiles and grouting and the expense of tiles.
Yeah, white grout that goes black over time.
So the maintenance of that, it's a rental, something like this, that is easy to, if this got damaged or punctured.
But what is that?
Sorry, that's a good point. This is an aqua panel. So this is what would go in a shower cubicle. It's a plastic product of hollow board. And you would trim up the sides. It's very quick to install. It's printed with different, stone effects.
Yeah, you can get loads of different effects. Basically, you can get what you get on tiles, but on these aqua panels.
Yeah, and there are some more expensive products that are solid core, hydro, MDF, different types of boards, but essentially do the same thing. I think that's a good comparison, because this is robust. It's quite hard to damage this in a shower. Yeah. It is easy to replace and pretty straightforward. It can be done a lot quicker than if you damage the tiles and have to strip them off or source those tiles again. That's another thing.
Try to take one broken tile out or regrout or any of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, you ask any tiler, batch numbers are different. Every tile batch is different slightly. So, but something like this, to take off 2 to 3 panels and replace them in 5-10 years, whatever, even if you have to, I mean, you probably wouldn't have to. So things like that are good. Good for maintenance, easy to clean, easy to seal. Yeah. So for the market of like maybe on the lower end market or a rental market, there's the right materials for it.
So we are putting aqua panels into our apartments.
We are,
conversion,
essentially because they're priced on the sort of accessible lower end market. For first time buyers, or they're the good sized small and good sized 1 and 2 bedroom apartments, which are on the sort of lower entry level properties, residential properties. But also they're great for people who want to buy to let. If these are holiday homes and things like that, this is the sort of thing they're going to want to look at. Yeah. But we don't want to be going for that. Yeah, sometimes rentals have long-term rentals have a very basic feel. Very bland, very, the carpets are, zero pile. They're thin, they're rough on your feet and that sort of thing. We're more looking at it from a point of view, maybe Airbnb rental. So still has a bit of home about it. It's not too sterile. It's
the other good thing is, like I said, there's little to no upkeep on these. Similar to if you had certain cladding that you got to then treat, whereas you got composite cladding these days removes that element. This just removes the element of having to try and worrying about the grout discolouring or anything like that, because there's none. So it just makes the future longevity of the product better.
Exactly that. Yeah, look, zero maintenance doesn't exist, but low maintenance does. And on these types of products and types of builds we're looking at here, that's what you want to aim for. The same with the flooring. So we're looking to go for a Cardine floor. So Cardine is basically an LVT, and there's lots you can have, but we're having this stuck down. So again, it's very robust, strong. It's not good. It's very scratch resistant, water resistant, easy to clean, easy to maintain. A little bit more expensive than maybe some of the options, but
it gives a better feel, better than let's say vinyl, I suppose, being the cheaper option.
Lots of choice. There's lots of choice. It's a good product. And you could see that in any house, really. That's not just for a basic or entry level property, that can go in any property. So
yeah. So when it comes to choosing colours, we try and avoid really garish or outlandish colours like bright greens or bright reds or anything like that.
Yeah.
We tend to stay towards the more neutral, earthy colours.
Yeah.
Which just makes it a lot more. People can see themselves walking in and going, "Yeah, this looks nice."
Yeah, and it's changed, and I think people have got bolder. We used to have pre-90s. You had the Magnolia Revolution.
Yes.
And then you had
those days.
Bit of a wacky 90s period where people were really pushing the boundaries of colour and everything really. And I mean, some of the things on TV, what was that, changing rooms? I don't know if people remember that. People were inspired by that, and a lot of awful colour was used.
Yes.
But and then we've moved into the grey dynasty of like everybody's gone grey. It's like play it safe, have everything in different shades and levels of this blue grey, like a very cold grey. And I think we're a little bit tired of that now as a country. I think what we've started to do is warm more towards warm colours. So like earth tones and pastels. Now, when you say pastels, that sounds a bit, I don't know, a bit old, a bit lavender. But I don't mean that. It's more those earthy, warm tones, home colours.
Yeah.
And we're not looking at decorating the whole room in a colour.
No,
maybe a feature wall.
Yeah, accent points.
Exactly that. That's a shame we haven't. We haven't got the. We've picked our kitchens, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
And they're great. They're real earthy tones. We've got to put a bit of metallic, which is a bit sounds awful. I think when you say metallic, it sounds like you've got.
It's not like it's a matte metallic.
Yeah,
if that's the thing.
Think of champagne. It's almost champagne, isn't it? I mean, which maybe sounds worse than it is, but. But anyway,
it's going to look great when we take the photos.
It will look great. Yeah. We're happy. We think we've picked something good.
We've gone for 3 colours for the 3 different levels.
Yeah.
Just as a little bit different, but the same worktop across all of them.
Yeah.
Which should make things easier from a fitting point of view. So we're not.
Yeah, and the same carcasses again. That's another decision we made. The same carcasses.
We've gone different on this.
We've got the same carcasses throughout.
Yeah, but different to the norm.
Oh, yeah, we have. Yes, yeah. We haven't gone for just white because our supplier is basically there's no cost increase to have a walnut finish interior. So that looks nice a little bit. Adds a bit of something to it, doesn't it? Adds a bit of
uniqueness and yeah. I think there's a big difference.
Yeah. And also, the colours we've sort of decided today weren't what we were looking at last week.
No.
We've had to think about it. We gave ourselves some breathing space over the weekend. We assessed it. I sort of came in with let's go charcoal. You sort of came around to the idea, but weren't totally convinced. Yeah. But then
Well, actually, you came in with black.
Well,
I was like...
It was called charcoal, but it was pretty much
let's
black.
be honest here. You came in with black.
It was black, yeah. And, the kitchen designer was like, no. She was like, no, absolutely not. It's on its way out. It's done. It's actually bold and cold. It's not great. So we listened and we learn.
Yeah.
And
I've come away from gloss altogether.
Yeah, you were quite a fan of gloss, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. Yeah. So now we're going matte, but it just looks, as you're saying, warm, neutral, earthy colours.
Yeah, very, very good. So we're pleased with that. So we have 3 colours throughout 9 apartments.
Yeah.
And then what we're doing, because we've got a ground level, which is, I'm not going to say basement, but it is like a sub-ground level. You're not subterranean, but it feels low and it's got good light, but there are areas where it's...
Yeah, it only feels like that because there's walls that go around the property.
Yes.
That create this illusion of being sub-basement, and the windows are higher up. And
also
stuff like
you're
that.
Comparing... So when you look at the second floor, which has got lots of light, it's like more than most houses or most rooms have light. It's covered in light through every wall. These have just got your average light. So what we're looking at doing is changing, putting different kitchens or different colours, tones, darkness, to light in different apartments to make it work. And also trying to make a connection. We're using a lovely, is it like a sage green, olive green?
Yeah.
And we're going to put this in one of the only apartments that's got the garden and try and make a connection with the greenery on the outside, which again, just a little connection there. Just try and just keep it.
Yeah, I had the colour here.
Keep it simple, isn't it? So these are Howden's kitchens that we've gone with.
Ash green.
Ash green, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like a real nice.
It's like a sage almost, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. But it looks good.
Looks
Looks
really
nice.
cool. Yeah.
And the thing is that you've got to be cautious and conscious that you're not making these decisions on your personal taste. It's got to be at the same time you've got to like it because you're selling it, you're building it.
Yeah, I mean you can use it. You reference capital and centric a lot.
Yes.
Through what you've looked at and so on. And in some ways, developers can use their color choices and material choices to create a unique USP. Like this is, a capital and centric development, and this is going to become our development in St James Court, and could lead to people seeing this and go, yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, I think also, like you said there, it can create your brand identity, can't
exactly,
it?
Yeah. That's what I was trying to get at, yeah.
So Capital Centric, love them. Shout out to those guys. And yeah, they have a very unique style. Their developments are residential mixed purpose, aren't they? They're a mixed use of, so they have cafes, restaurants, entertainment spaces, workspaces, and living spaces. And they focus on the living, that's the core, and then, lifestyle around that. But it's a very honest, the architecture is honest to the buildings, which I love. We both love. Like you see the way the fabric and the building works, and they don't, they don't hide too much. They let the building speak for itself, and then they add the base layer of design in terms of the infrastructure. I'd say like the flooring and the kitchens and the bathrooms. I'm not going to say they're simple in the best way it can be. You know what I mean? Like I was going to say basic, but they're definitely not basic. They're simple. Like it's just perfect simplicity, isn't it? Yeah. And it's very selective palette, warm. But then when they dress these and when they stage them with good furniture, bold colours, warm colours, and that really makes it good artwork, and they give then the lifestyle over the top of that. And I think they just nail it. To be fair, the guys are great. So
really good.
Let's tag them in this one, Faith.
Yeah.
Tag them, get a shout out to Capital Centric.
So if you haven't looked at their Instagram page and videos and stuff like that, Capital and Centric, it's really, really good.
They're brilliant. We admire them. I go on about them quite a lot because I just think I love what they're doing, the scale they're doing it. They're brilliant.
So when do you bring in an interior designer into the process?
I think quite early doors. I think if you know, I think once you start to do your layouts, certainly at a point, designers can visualise quite early on. They understand how a space is going to change and how they can do a walkthrough. So I think as early as you can start imagining it, that's when you start bringing them in. Certainly see plans and things.
I think if you've never done this before, it's always good to have them on as part of your team. Especially like you said about walkthroughs and stuff like that. Because you want to, when you get some floor plans, and typically architects are good at this. But you do want to have a sense of how is it going to be to live in there. We've seen some planning drawings as an example, where you walk in and it's kind of very open plan. You've got stairs going upstairs in the living room. Rather than in a central hallway type thing. That just gives a very different feel. It hasn't been that they've done what they can do to get it through planning, but not necessarily thought about, well, how's this going to be for living purposes. And
that's perfect example of where an interior designer will come in, because if you've maybe inherited a design or you're sort of restricted by a design you have to work with, or the building has to do this, and you've got some problem areas, maybe like you said, privacy, or just sort of what's the word, where you're dividing the space up.
Space planning,
but it's more, so there's a spatial design element to it, but it's compartmentalizing. So when you're compartmentalizing, it's sometimes you do have to have the stairs in the living room. It just has to work that way. That's how the building's designed. That's how it works. But you get an interior designer in to say, right, from a spatial design point of view, how do I keep that, because I can't change it, but make that work so it feels right. And that's where they come in. That's where that's their forte. They'll be like, right, let's do some screening or try some glass, or and they'll, a good interior designer as well, will be able to cost value engineer that and sort of give you some examples of what that would be. Hopefully they should be able to.
So I think interior designers definitely can add value to development, especially if doing higher end. I don't know if you'd bring them in on a very low end project, whether the cost would allow for that, unless of course you're factoring it in at the very beginning when you're doing your appraisal and making your offers, etc. You've allowed for that kind of cost into it.
Yeah.
But certainly for like boutique premium properties like that, I think they'd definitely be able to add value into it.
Yeah, I think even, and again, I'm speaking out of turn because I'm not an interior designer, but I think if you had one as part of your team that you could connect with, and I think if you had an idea or you got to the stage like we have, and we feel pretty confident with our decisions, that I think then if you even just allowed to pay them for a day's worth of consultation, that they come in and they look at the palette and they look at it and go, yeah, I wouldn't use that. Everything else I love, but that is just not doing it. And if they can explain why and, you know, give you some other options just within a day's, you know, cost, then that'd be great. You know, so I think certainly if it's not your strength, and I think a lot of people with design think it is their strength.
I think a lot of people think they have a lot of design influence.
Yeah.
But again, that's their personal tastes.
Yeah.
And you're looking to design something that's going to sell for your property.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
When you are talking to interior designers, if you're networking and meeting different people like that, definitely have a look at their previous projects, speak to their previous clients. If you're going to take them on, see what they've done before. They should be able to give you referrals to kind of support their work, etc.
Yeah, and we do the same from our building background. Like I said, we don't really get too involved in the interior design at all. We don't want that responsibility in a lot of ways. So what we do is, you know, early on in pre-construction, we'll get a feel for the property. You know, it's like I don't know, heritage Georgian property, listed property, something like that. We'll know who to recommend, who would, you know, really suit that. We've got a few interior designers that we're connected with that we'll put forward. Or if it's, you know, a modern retail project or something like that, we've got someone else who works in that background, that environment. So we'll recommend people on the basis of what we think our client. Well, we know they're good people because we would work with them, so that's who we recommend. But it's also our clients' taste, get an idea of what our clients' thinking and how they work. A lot of the time, though, the clients do know what they want, and sometimes you can sort of throw a few questions at it if you don't think it's. Well, you think it maybe is a bold design statement. Yeah.
You're like, have you thought about this?
Yeah. Are you sure? You know, and to be fair, there is a couple of. I'm not even going to pull them out because if they're listening, they'll know exactly what I mean. But I think most clients, where they've made a design decision that's wrong, they look back at it and go, I know that's wrong. And even if most of the time, it's not they want to ignore it, but they've done it and they're going to live with it for a bit and.
Change it later.
This beautiful kitchen went in and it had a beautiful, what they call Atlas worktop. It's a granite worktop with all these different earth tones like browns, greens, blues. Beautiful. I've never seen anything like it. It's a beautiful bit of Italian granite. It's like marble, but it was granite. It's quartz, lots going on. And that was the statement piece. But then they went and picked tile to go as the backsplash sort of area.
Right.
And they were trying to pull out some of the colours from the worktop, but in tile form, in a metro tile, and it just didn't work. It didn't work, and I think they knew it didn't work. And I think they might have replaced it now, but it just didn't work. It almost, in my opinion, just not ruined the kitchen, but it.
So it certainly distracts from the centrepiece.
Yeah. So again, maybe consult with an interior designer on that element and just say, do you think that's going to work? Rather than the builders, who we were like, nah, don't do it, but they did anyway.
Sometimes they don't want to listen to anyone else.
No, that's right. Yeah, but other than that, I must say they do work out. It's them. The rest of the house, all their design decisions were fantastic. They especially the art placement in the house. That's another thing. Interior designers, if you've got an art collection or certain art, they can help you place that. Or if you're building, developing properties for a rental market, if you're building to rent. And you're staging them, so you're actually kitting them out, fitting them out with furniture. They'll be able to look at the furniture and the artwork. You know, you haven't got to spend huge amounts of money. It's sometimes easier just to put a couple of pictures on the wall than it is to paint the wall. It's easier to maintain. Gives a feel, selling the lifestyle rather than just the property itself. So, they can help with that.
Yeah, staging is also something else that interior designers get involved in. When you finish the development or you've got a show home or something like that, they can then find all the furniture. And again, you as a developer, yes, you can do it, but your time is valuable.
Yeah.
Get it. I mean, that is horrendous. I've done it before, where you're trying to get all the furniture in, trying to coordinate everything else. It just sucks up so much time, and you just don't want that.
No.
Yeah,
No.
so definitely get someone else to help with the staging. Staging a property can help sell the property quicker.
Yep.
It just gives a buyer a feel of what it could look like when they move in. And sometimes you can sell all the furniture
Yeah.
as part of the package, as an upsell.
We had one the other day. Sorry, not us, but like my wife's selling a property my wife is selling a property at the moment, and there's nothing in it. It's not staged. It's empty. And the estate agent have used AI for their images, for their promotional images. They've put some furniture in it, so it doesn't. It's not a lie really. It's saying this is what it would look like with furniture, and they're very open with that. It says AI generated image, but I think when people are going there, they're like, oh, it doesn't. It's empty. It feels a little bit cold then, a little bit lost. So I was thinking maybe we should stage it.
It'd look bigger in the pictures.
Weirdly, that's the case. When it's empty, it actually looks smaller than when it's filled with furniture because you can see yourself occupying those spaces. It's a strange thing that you put more in it.
Is that a double bedroom? Actually, when you got a double bed and a wardrobe, okay, there's plenty of space for a double bed.
Yeah. So. I think that's a key thing. I think AI is great and it has its place, but sometimes it can be a bit like, oh, where's all the furniture? Maybe stage it.
Yeah, get the right people to do it.
Get the right people. They know what they're doing.
So one of the best lessons in property development is recognizing that you don't need to do everything. The whole point is about your team. It's a business. There's processes and systems. You get those put in place, and you never have to worry about building furniture or trying to fit something through the door. Someone else can take care of all of that.
Yeah. I just want to add one more thing because I am connected quite to a lot of designers, a lot of architects, and I've heard it a lot recently, and it happens in the trades where people get taken for their time and money in their services that they put forward. And I think these people, these consultants, these professionals are very, very valuable. And I hear it too often where people are just getting stung for like their advice. If you're calling someone in to consult for an hour or a day, half a day, whatever it might be, they're not doing it for free. That's their job. That's what they've trained to do. And it's sad when you hear so often that people are like, I helped them out, but they assumed it was like friendship. Maybe connecting a bit to networking here. That when you network and people become friends, but it's still business. And you've got to put an allowance in your costings for these people. It's not free. There might be a little bit of chit chat over the phone is free, and that's okay, but don't assume if these people are coming out and spending time and looking at what you're doing and giving you advice, it's not free. So
I think the worst thing is if you do that and then give it to someone else. I think that's probably the worst.
Like kitchens. Kitchens are a different thing. The
that's
industry,
material. That's different.
These are bigger firms. And kitchens,
consultants are different. Yeah.
Consultants are different. These people have paid to train, and they spent the years training. And that breaks my heart when people put the effort in and the skill. And okay, maybe they didn't come up with the end result of what you were thinking, but ultimately you knew what that person was about. You saw their portfolio. You could see what they do on their socials and their website. You called them for a reason, so don't abuse that. And I'm not saying people were, but I hear it too often now. Where people were just sort of taken because I don't know, someone turns around and goes, I didn't like what they produced. That's not what it's about. You've got to do your background research on that person. Call them in. Did they spend time and work on the project? And a lot of the time, what I hear a lot is people go, but they didn't produce any designs, or I haven't had any visuals. Yeah, but if they spent time consulting with you, if they just said, look, I wouldn't use that, but this is great, that's great, that's great. That's their profession. That's what they're skilled at. And I think people need to realise that a little bit. I didn't want to bring it down. But it's a valuable thing. And I studied in design. I done a degree in interior and architecture. So interior and landscape architecture. But it's been a long time since I practiced it, and that's not my path. There are people who are very, very good at it, much better than I am, and they are valuable. They are very good at what they do. So don't rip people off.
So to close, when you're doing interior design, don't design for your own tastes, design for your end market.
That's it. You summed it up.
Think about your colour choices. Work with your interior designer. Again, don't go bold unless that's ultimately the kind of what you're trying to put about yourself. But I think that's going a bit too extreme, going bold and bright and all that sort of stuff.
Stay true, be honest. I think that's the key. Like just Just don't try and hide. That's another thing. People try and hide stuff in design or colour. Look over here, not over there, sort of thing, and it doesn't work like that. Or
misdirection.
Yeah, or it's a bit dark over there.
Trick.
Throw a load of yellow at that wall, and that sort of stuff. It's just don't get too excited, because actually it is a fun bit of the project, isn't it?
It is.
Like going around and material specking. It's a bit nerve wracking, and it's a bit, but it's fun and it's nice, and you're so close to the end, and that's exciting. Like, we're there, we're making these final decisions. So, just take your time. Don't get overexcited.
Enjoy the process.
Enjoy the process.
Yeah. So, always interested to get audience engagement. What kind of interior design trend do you think developers have seen is kind of fading out, or what's coming in? Always interested to see what other people are thinking about that at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you enjoyed today's episode, please like and follow, subscribe. Like Kieron said at the beginning of the show, share with other people who are looking to get started or scale in property development.
It's been fun.
Till next time, I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Kieron.
Learn, build and scale.